Crazy God story. Yesterday I visited a church and met a man named Michael who has an amazing story. About a year or so ago, he was at a place in his life where he was starting over. He moved to the Gulf Coast of Texas and he wanted to get closer to God. He started going to a new church and met a guy there, and they decided they wanted to be roommates and get an apartment together. They had applied at and got rejected by 6 different apartment complexes, and finally the one that approved them was going to give them the only furnished apartment on their property. A week later, the property manager called him up and said, "Hey, we changed our mind. We're not going to rent you guys this apartment. However, we want to get rid of the furniture that's in it, so if you want it, you can have it for free." The next place they applied to was the cheapest and best apartment they'd seen. They got approved for it and were able to move in. Now, because of the move-in costs, they weren't able to afford furniture. However, God had already gone before them and orchestrated everything, so the furniture that they needed, they were getting for free. They started a Bible study at their apartment complex that's been going for a year. They've had multiple opportunities to minister to different people. Michael got a job working in construction, which is a rough industry with a bunch of guys that don't want to hear about Jesus. In spite of that, he has consistently talked to his coworkers about Jesus. At first, they thought he was nuts, but over time, some of them started going to church and are getting excited about Jesus. As Michael has stepped out in faith to reach the lost with the gospel, he has gotten much closer to God because he's experienced him firsthand working in and through his life. In Matthew 6:33, Jesus promised that if you put God's kingdom first, he'll provide all your needs, and he did that for Michael.